And a pleasant good morning to you from the sports betting capital of the world, Las Vegas. This is Ramon Scott, and welcome to the morning steam for Sunday, December the 10th. We've got NFL Sunday today, big card, big schedule of games, key games, important games, and we'll preview all of them here over the next couple of hours. We've also got a little bit of NHL to talk about, and, well, there's some college basketball as well coming off our big uh, Saturday of action. The NBA Cup won by the Lakers. They sure looked proud, didn't they? Is that what it looks like when you win the championship? Could the Lakers parlay their success early season into something special this year? And, well, let's not get carried away, but the Lakers took the tournament seriously, even if most of you didn't. And they are the ones reaping the rewards after the victory last night. Pretty good game, pretty entertaining. And, well, Lakers were at home pretty much. It seemed like they're here in Las Vegas. And they win the NBA Cup, the first ever NBA Cup. And really does them a disservice, man. It's the in-season tournament. We know that, but it's the NBA Cup, and I thought they kind of said it wrong there on the post-game presentation to say they're the champions of the in-season tournament. While it is, we've called it that quite a bit. I think you could start to call it a little something else when you're introducing someone as champions of that beautiful trophy. LeBron, the MVP, and the Lakers win it last night. Yeah, we did have the winning play here yesterday on the game. Of course, here on the show, we gave out the Lakers to win the NBA Cup and cover the spread. We also had a premium play on the under. So worked out yesterday with that. Also, I thought pretty big news, obviously, yesterday. It kind of superseded maybe Army Navy. We'll talk about that. Again, not a lot to talk about other than the thrills and drama that the Army Navy game brings, and for the game to end basically on the 1 yard line, with a safety too, but and obviously it was an important safety for all those late 28 totals players, but still, exciting, good game for Army Navy, no matter how you look at it yesterday. Always pleasure to watch that game and the pageantry and all that. And uh, the end of the game, everything about it. But yesterday, obviously, the big news, man, the uh, carpet got pulled out from under the Blue Jays' feet, and the Dodgers end up with Shohei Ohtani. And for the next 10 years, he's going to be a menace to my Padres and maybe to the rest of the National League. Not going to pitch right away, still going to heal that arm, but 10 years, $700 million for the greatest baseball player in the history of the world, Shohei Ohtani, going to the Dodgers. A surprise? Probably not, right? If you think about it, staying in LA where maybe he feels comfortable. The Dodgers have the money, they have the team, they have the history. Um, the Dodgers certainly, uh, yeah, I don't, want to go back, 75 years, certainly a clouded history, somewhat with this franchise and their move to LA, but that was a long time ago. And Shohei Ohtani, the face of the franchise now, another great Dodger star here. Let's hope he can get back to pitching and be the player that he's worth. Dodgers have structured the contract. They're hoping to get some starting pitching in, get him going right away with his bat. And, well, that's it. That's it. There are other free agents, there are other situations out there. Shohei Ohtani, it's all over. He is a Dodger. You got to feel bad for Tampa Bay. You got to feel like, that leak. These reporters got to be careful, man. They don't know sometimes when they're jumping the gun. I think they think they have a scoop when they don't, and uh, feel bad for all the Toronto fans because they certainly there was every reason to believe. I think that it was a near deal, whether or not it was leverage or what we don't know at this point. and really poorly handled actually by Otani's camp as far as the way uh, their team conducted this. I'm sure it's not. Look, Otani's got his own, uh, you know, not communication issues. We know Tony does speak enough English, but he doesn't do it publicly because he wants to honor his heritage and his country. So he always gives his interviews in Japanese. But it just feels like they didn't do a good job. Kind of, they could have made a big to do about it actually there and done it right. But whatever the case may be, good luck to the Dodgers. Congratulations to Shohei Otani and the Dodgers. Okay, hello to everyone coming in. We get ready for the show here. We're gonna make it quick. We got the NFL games, some uh, hockey, and a little bit of college basketball to talk about here today. But we just want to say hello to everyone that's coming in here for the show. And we got breaking news here at the top of the show that we'll get to in just a moment with the NFL. But we'll just say hello to the crew coming in today, including Blake was here. And Thomas is ready to like and smash here today. And let's see. Timmy Two Shoes ready to go. Sounds like against Shohei Otani. Be careful what you wish for. I think he is all that still. But like I said, you're right. Might be right. Might be something where, will he ever make it back to the mound? He better for $700 million. Matt D says, you know what? We're going to see some shifts today. And uh, I think the one thing about you look at some of these divisions, right? Could be look at the South. Hey, Cornelius Majors is here today with his Dalmatians. Hello, Cornelius. Uh, nice to have you. And maybe you've stopped by once before, but if not, pleasure to have you here as part of Team Steam. We're going to go over to Tony'sPicks.com, take a look at who did well on the network and get to our picks. Want to say hello again to Rose City today. No, we saw Rose City before because I said, "Are you? Is it? Are you in Portland?" And I know there's some other famous Rose cities. I don't know if Pasadena can be considered. Paco's here today. Hello to Paco. Nice to have you. Let's go over to Tony'sPicks.com and see who did well. I had high volume, and man, did I end up on some a little bit of some beats here yesterday. But we'll get back at it with the NFL today. Take a look at the crew, and it is Hollywood Sam with a big day here. 80% of his 73% yesterday for Hollywood Sam. Nearly 500 units. Nick Vartini continues to roll. He's a face of Platinum Cappers. He goes 4-0 yesterday. Joseph Schultz, 5-1, keeps his roll going. The VIP account continues to roll as well at 70%. Daniel Woloschuk, not one play, but 9 plays for Daniel yesterday. 6-3 record. Chauncey Giles won his only 2 plays. Tiffany Mance, 4-3. Mindy Hahn, 6-4. So the sisters go 10-7 yesterday on the site. Where am I? Started to backfire there a little bit with a few plays. Man, it seemed like I was getting bad beats, but not here to whine about him. Here comes Daniel Woloschuk. He leads the 30-day leaderboard with nearly 10 units of profit. Collins Brown is up 6.5 units. Hollywood Sam, 585. Nick Vartini's up there. Sean Dinwiddie, Joseph Schultz, Everett Burton making an appearance on the 30-day leaderboard here. Just getting started with us, I believe. So we'll get more information maybe about Everett. I don't know a lot about these people, folks. To be honest with you, they're on the network here. They make their picks. Good, honest cappers, I'm sure, making their picks every day. But not a lot of public presence by this crew, really. You just have myself, Mindy, Tiffany, Tony. Hey, I want you to go with these guys if they're hot and if you think you're getting a good handicap from them. But, again, just our network of handicappers, they're a little camera shy. All right. Go over to Tony'sPicks.com. Use the promo code TonyT at checkout. Save 20% off all premium pick packages, including mine today. Also, take a look, if you will. My packages here for Sunday's action. I've got a 5-pack of early action here in the NFL. My 5-pack today in the early games is just $25. I've got a 5-pack of winners in the early window. Profit guaranteed. You must show a profit to get credits back to your Tony's account. Says this is a profit guaranteed 5-pack of premium pick selections from the man himself, Ramon Scott. Who writes this stuff? Okay. Get my 5-pack for $25. I also have an afternoon pack of winners that is going to include the Sunday night game, and I believe it has a hockey game. I haven't finalized it yet, actually. But use that promo code TonyT at checkout to save 20% off all premium pick package. Okay, we're not going to talk about it too long today. We got to get the show started. I got to get out of here. Join me over on some other shows too this morning. Okay, thank you, Rose. I think we did ask that, Rose City, one time, and maybe you did tell me that. But thank you. Good to have you. Doubles is here today as well. And Salty says, yeah, right. If any team gets blown up, it's the Dodgers, and hopefully it's too much. Hopefully they've spent too much money on good old Shohei. The one thing I do like about him for my division rival Padres is that, you know what, good that you'll get to see Padres fans will get to see Shohei Ohtani more, even though they don't play teams in the division as much as they used to nowadays. Still, pretty awesome. Okay. Let's get started with this show right away, because I'm going to make some other appearances this morning and make some picks, hopefully some good, hopefully some better, maybe just, without the big NBA or whatever. Just didn't go my way. What happened? We did have some winners. I will just mention real quick, though, on the card yesterday. Some of our winners in hockey, we got hot there late last night. If you missed some of the late action we had Tampa Bay here on the show. We had Vancouver here on the show. We had the Flyers on the puck line here on the show. So we ended the night real strong. Also, other winners on the day included the Montreal Buffalo game under. And we also had the Ottawa Senators on the road. We had New Jersey. We had the Golden Knights, some of the hockey winners yesterday here on the show. All right, NFL breaking news. Man, we need a breaking news banner to get our show started here. And well, it starts with this one: the Jaguars and the Browns. As just we were getting on the air, the line started to move. That may be the key indicator here that we will get Trevor Lawrence. He is expected to play here today, but looks like the finalizing details, or at least came out here recently over the last several minutes, because this line has moved to 1.5 and 35 this morning. So Lawrence expected to play with that ankle sprain. Everybody's all bent out of shape, because they're like, oh man, they lied. You can't play 1 week on a high ankle sprain. Watch the game, folks. I mean, it was obvious that his lower part of the ankle was stepped on. I don't really think they even reported it. There may have been, erroneous reports, but, I don't think it was necessarily, let me get that. There we go. And I don't think it was necessarily, hidden information or anything. He's definitely got a bit of a sprained ankle here. So Fernando's ready for a big card today. And, right, here's the thing that Matt says, because, Trevor Lawrence has never missed a start in his career, but still a key game. Jacksonville 8-4, Cleveland 7-5, and we don't even know what we're going to get necessarily with the Browns today, right? I think we're, still waiting. Now, reportedly, Flacco did take all the first team reps. I can't sit here and try to put any drama in this. I think it's Flacco today. And, the thing about Flacco, you might say, well, they called in Flacco, after Watson's down, the younger quarterbacks aren't working out or whatever. And, well, I guess you just kind of gear towards your quarterback, right? It's kind of funny that, they kind of go with DTR or uh, Walker, whatever was going on when Watson wasn't available. And, you're certainly a little bit more pedestrian, I think, with those guys, right? But the funny thing about it is you bring in Flacco, and I guess you gear your game plan around your personnel. Why wouldn't you bring in? Is Flacco that bad that you really would prefer like a game manager, and you just, or like, oh, we don't want to. He maybe commands a higher salary. That seems strange. You would just, who cares about money anymore in professional sports, right? Flacco comes in and ends up, throwing more passes, or what I don't even know what the stat was. More prolific passes, more whatever it was, more passes in one game in than 4.5 or 5 years or something like that. What do you throw? 44 passes, whatever the case may be. So it just seems bizarre, right? That they would all of a sudden say, "Hey, well, we got Flacco, might as well use him." Anyways, Blake says he will go under here in this one. I don't know. Seems like the Browns have just changed their philosophy all of a sudden with Flacco in here. So we'll see. Also, short week for Jacksonville. Don't forget coming into this one. So I don't think it was really a true high ankle sprain. No one ever comes back in 1 week from a high ankle sprain. I mean, you could call it whatever you want, but and what is but high ankle sprain, that's a multiple week injury by I mean, I don't know. I just listen. Now, one thing I do, you guys, if you ever do have any, if an injury ever happens, like you can criticize Dr. Chow for, a lot of things, right? And maybe unfairly to a certain extent. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about actually, but he's like the NFL Twitter doctor. If you have an injury report that you need on a major, you just go to Dr. Chow's Trevor account, and he's not the be all end all, but that's what they do. I mean, they have a whole website geared to this, so you can get the information pretty much right away. And well, quite frankly, I think he's very, very accurate. Did he give Junior Seau pain medications because he was best friend, and uh, well, that's a whole nother story. Anyways, just listen to Dr. Chow when you got some injury issues going on. Matt's on the Browns, Solo's on the Browns. The Jaguars, you know what? They've actually been pretty strong. They've been almost stronger away from home this season. They've covered all their games so far away from Jacksonville, but they're not good as a road dog. Now, I don't know if this one's going to move to pick them here. It was, you know, originally Jacksonville was a -3 point favorite, and then the injury concerns come a little bit, and maybe the uh, Browns with Flacco now rather than um, DT or whatever the case may be, they moved to the favorite, 2.5, and now with Lawrence obviously still in, and technically the Browns haven't necessarily named Flacco in there, but the reports are Flacco took the reps. So we'll see here. The Jaguars have been off to slow starts again, unfortunately, and they're not great as a road dog. But here, with Lawrence in there again, I think they will be in there competing. Well, I mean, they are, I think, the better team with more experience, right? As far as postseason success right now, and uh, higher rated. I'm going to take the Jaguars here on the road to win this one. I'll take them on the money line here, actually, and hopefully. We got 4 dozen of you in here right now, and hopefully the comments are working. I'm not getting much else from you guys, but maybe you're getting ready for the big breakfast or something. Here's Thomas has got my call out there on the Jaguars. So, all right, the Browns, they've given up 65 points in their last 2 games. Paco talking about the running game here also a little bit for Jacksonville. Look, big ATN fan, certainly. Maybe I was expecting more from him when he came out. And look, he's been a very, very good and solid player. Don't forget Christian Kirk. I mean, he's lost here. We'll see how long Christian Kirk is out for. He's hit the IR. So, I mean, I think, that looked bad whenever you get a groin injury. So, certainly plenty of issues here for the Jaguars coming into the game here today. But still, you have the Browns, uh, have their own certain set of issues here. But Kareem Hunt probable, Amari Cooper probable. Some good signs also for the Browns today. I'm going to be on the Jaguars here though in this one myself. All right. And the move coming in on the Jags, not getting the best of it anymore, that's for sure. And we'll see if it moves any further. Let's keep it rolling here with the Rams coming in against the Ravens in this one. And, well, you got the Ravens here, a considerable favorite, 7.5 points. And I don't know, Rams season is still alive and everything. They need these games, no doubt, coming in here. For today, the Rams, they've won their last 3 games, and they're having a really good run defensively right now. They're allowing just, 50 points or so in those 3 victories. So it's been a real nice run here right now. And the Rams, we don't think of them necessarily as a running team. They don't necessarily have the big game running backs, right? But when they are able to run the ball at least close to 100 yards, they seems to have a little bit of success here. But man, to me, it feels like the line itself is kind of maybe giving it away. Baltimore's won 6 of their last 7 games. The Rams started 3-6 to get back to this 500 record. Lamar totally controlling the game with his arm a little bit with a career high incompletion percentage right now. The rain is expected throughout most of this game today, and over the last 9 games, man, the Ravens have just dominated in the first half. They get out to such solid starts. They've been outscoring their opponents nearly 4-1 in the first half of games over the last 9 games this season. Right now, 156-41. They've outscored opponents in the first half. So for me, I'm thinking a blowout here, you guys. I'm not sure the Rams are going to be able to get it going here in these unfavorable conditions. Hey, all the Ravens got to do is score 20 points, and they're going to win this game. That's proven right now. The last 10 times the Ravens have scored 20 or more, they've won. Or no, 9 of the last 10. If they've scored 20 or more, they have won. They don't score 20, they don't win. But here, obviously, they're expected to score around 24 points today. So they should win. And it is a little bit tough laying that hook. I know that. But you could buy it down here. I've got the Ravens here in a blowout today. Not a when I say blowout, you guys, this is the NFL. So when I say blowout on a 7.5 point spread and a total of 40 here, I'm looking more, in the double digit range. Ravens probably to win this one in the, 24-14 range here for me. It was what it feels like. Just feel like the Rams might have it a little bit difficult here in this setting today. Not liking their chances. And we've got maybe some comments here as well. Blake says Lamar has success here. Hello to Biggie today. Thanks for keep saying that, Biggie, because I uh, have a little bit of, I'm old, I guess. And Fernando on the over. And Thomas says he doesn't see it. Let's see. Don't see a 7.5 very much. Oh yeah, you don't see a big spread like that. Maybe you mean 7 and the hook too, right? That's what I'm not saying I'm basing a handicap on a half a point. It just feels like is the public willing to lay 7.5? I feel like I'm being a little bit naughty, laying 7.5. Like people want to take the Rams, such as doubles here today. Paco says this is a perfect teaser opportunity. It's 7.5. You take it down to a half here. And Nicholas always bringing the good vibrations today. All right. So Baltimore 1-4 against the spread. They're coming in off their bye, 1-4 ATS off of a bye, but they are 4-2 as a home favorite so far this season. Also note AFC North teams outside of the division 19-13-1 against the spread for AFC North teams. So I'm going to lay these points here with the Ravens today against the Rams. All right, next up we got the Lions and the Bears here on Sunday in a division action with the Lions on the road. Favorite, of course, against these Bears. Why not? With what's the total? 43 here. The Lions are 8-2 straight up in their last 10 games, 9-3 overall. The Bears are 4-8. And for this is a long standing series history. This is where you like to look at the series history. The Bears, of course, lost 31-26 against the Lions just 3 weeks ago, but they got the money as an 8-point dog. Remember, the Lions ended up scoring 17 points in the final 3 minutes of the game to win that one. And now Detroit has won the last three meetings, scoring 41, 31, and 31 points in those games against the Jets. The Lions, however, 2-4-1 against the spread their last 7 years here visiting the Bears, and 4 of the last 6 meetings between these two here in Chicago have gone over. The Bears are 6-3 against the spread in their last 9 games, uh, with their quarterback Justin Fields in there. They're just 2-6 straight up, and the Lions, I think it's arguable that they are a much better team here. Chicago's coming off a bye. They're 2-7 against the spread in their last 9 games, coming off of a bye. The Bears have gone under in 4 of their last 5. Key stat for me here in this one: last 11 games in division at home, 1-10 against the spread at home in division games. I've got the Lions to come in here and remain confident. Yeah, Bears home dog. You know what that's all about. Home dog in division. But man, the Bears, it's going to be tough, I would think, offensively here for the Bears here. They don't do as well on third down, it seems like, with Fields. Badgett seems to be a little bit better in that department. So also the second half, they've been outscored by about a 3-2 margin, have the Bears, and 6-8 against the spread. Their last 14 as a home underdog, although 2-1 against the spread this year. I'm going to take the Lions here to keep it rolling today. I'm feeling pretty square. I know I'm a little out there sometimes. And here comes, oh, it's a cold winter day in Chicago where they don't know how to. Does the Soldier Field, right? They fixed the old, right? It was always Soldier Field that had the broken, you know how they had brought heaters into the technology, they heat it from the bottom, and the Bears it never worked, right? But it does nowadays, right? We fixed that, right? Matt says take the Bears here at home, I think. And right. And a lot of these, right? So I'm talking about, I see teams with, to me in the NFL, it's kind of like a 3 is a magic number. If a team wins, look, I don't want to just say this is what I do, but it does something, it does stand out. If a team wins 3 games in a row, I'm going to start to look against them. If they lose 3 games in a row, I'm starting to look to, I'm trying to find it to bet them. quite frankly. I mean, this is what this league is all about. And remember, that's against the spread as well. So sometimes you get in that, team lost three straight and getting a bunch of points doesn't necessarily mean they win it. So, all right, give me the Lions here. Call me square. Here's Bears and over though. You guys, plenty of people on the Bears here today. So yeah, and right, what happened to this, right? Doubles. Oh, we're gonna tear down Arlington Park and we're gonna build a stadium there. We're gonna, we just renovated Soldier Field. I don't know, it's been a few years now, certainly, but um, you know, it's still a great, interesting place to see a game, right? Especially after the renovation. But this is a Chicago Bears. I mean, you deserve. Um, a really hot stadium. I mean, there's no doubt about it, especially the way we're building them today. I mean, this is Chicago, man. You should have a state of the art domed facility, I would think. All right. Let's keep it moving. No need to talk about this stuff on a busy day like today. And we got to finish this show. Panthers and Saints. Oh, there's news in this one for sure with the Saints, man. Uh, Injuries for sure, I think, has got to be the story here with the Saints in this one. Seems like a pretty bad spot to be laying some points here, especially if it's still six everywhere. I mean, how could you want to even do it? At this point, the Saints don't look like a team to me that can cover any spreads, even against what would be the worst team in the league. They're on a 5-game losing streak here, but still trying hard with their rookie quarterback. Now the Saints, they're going to be, with Jameis Winston, I would think, in there today, or is it going to be Taysom Hill? Right, that's kind of what we're looking at. Now they haven't necessarily listed, I believe, the quarterback yet, but Carr doesn't seem to be the man here at this point, right? And let's see what the latest is. If they're, we haven't seen a line movement, so um, Carr, uh, non-displaced rib cartilage fracture, but the report is now that he will try to go here, says Rappaport just 5 minutes ago. Carr will be set to start in this one for the Saints here. So interesting move here late, and good to see that he'll be back in there today, but he's going to be a little bit shorthanded, I would think, in the weapons department. Uh, it looks like Olave has been sick all week. Shaheed is out. There's just injuries in the Saints wide receiver core and at some other key positions as well. So I don't like him to cover this game here. I think it's going to be very, very tough. Carr gets the nod. Let's see here. Even the kicker has a groin injury. All the groupies. Shaheed here. Let's see. Oh gosh, I just closed the window. All right, Shaheed here is cut it out. Shaheed is doubtful. Taysom Hill doubtful. So some injuries here, big time. Olave is probable with that illness. That is good news. You want him in there. I'm going to be on the Panthers here in this one. Look, 2-5 against the spread on the road. I don't know if I can have even the numbers necessarily to sell you in this one. Thomas has it 7-0. Solo says, "Give me the Saints." And here's Fernando says it'll go over. Right, and this is the NFL, man. They just keep trying. They keep trying. It hasn't been good, right? Usually, you could say, "Oh man, at least the Panthers they cover big spread." They don't. They're 2-5 against the spread on the road, and they've lost those road games. They're 0-7, but it's been getting closer, right? Closer and closer each week. It seems like for the Panthers, that's the only way I can describe it, or uh, you know try to get on a dog here. All right, Matt says go under in this one. And I don't know. I don't know about that one. I don't know about that necessarily, but I actually was going to end up on the over here now that I'm getting the news about Carr being in there. Let's see, is the total moved up? No, it's 30. In fact, well, 39 and a half at circa. And I am gonna go over actually in this one. I think. Did I already give out the Panthers or what? All right. I'm going to go over as my official play here, I think, on the show, actually. So, again, it's not necessarily based on, kind of the report that I'm giving here, because if anything, look, I mean, you're still dealing with Bryce Young, who, yeah, they're averaging, you know, that typical 5 yards per pass attempt, but um, still, for me, I would think that Carolina here hangs in the game. You got two teams, certainly with mediocre records here. The Saints are, they're live. Panthers mediocre record. That's not even right to say. I mean, they've been terrible this year with their 1-11 record and not covering great either. But as this season continues to go along, um, you know, they're working on what they're working on. Okay, Saints are 0-5 against the spread at home this season. They're also 3-8 in their last 11 games as a home favorite, including 0-4 this year, obviously, here in this one. Saints have gone over in 4 of their last 6 games. In week 2, the Saints beat Carolina 20-17 on the road. Panthers, though, have won the 3 games prior to that, and the Panthers have also covered 5 of the last 7 meetings here in the Dome, and 5 straight games in this series have the last 5 games have gone under. So I'm going over though in this one at 39 and a half, and probably Carolina as well. All right. Here's the Buccaneers and the Falcons. We got issues here as well, right? With the Falcons coming into this one. Look, Ritter doesn't go downfield. All right, we talk about guys who are averaging less than 5 yards per attempt. Uh, Ritter, they don't throw the ball downfield very far. It's a problem, man. You got to throw the ball a little bit. Come on, Coach Smith. What have you got to lose? Anyways, we all want to see more Bijan. We want to see uh, Ritter. Falcons have lost 3 of their last 5, but the defense has been doing well here for the Falcons. They last 2 games, they haven't allowed a touchdown. So Atlanta comes in here, just a slight favorite, 1 point favorite or so right now, with a total, it's a 2 point favorite here, total 41. You update that. There we go. Buccaneers have lost 6 of their last 8 games, but gone 4-2 against the spread. Here, you're only asking a team really to win the game, and well, the Falcons are expected to score about 20 points or so, and when the Buccaneers allow 18 or more points, they're 0-6. So 6 straight games when they've allowed 19 points or more. So Tampa Bay, usually they lose, but they cover. But at a 2 point spread, I don't know. I mean, that seems a little tight to me. Still, man, division game indoors here. I'm probably going to look to go over. 9 of the last 12 meetings between these two teams have gone over, even though back in week 7 it was just 16-13. Atlanta won as a 2.5 point dog in Tampa Bay. The Buccaneers have won 6 of the last 8 in this series, but are just 2-4 against the spread in their last 6 trips here to Atlanta. Atlanta's gone under in 6 of their last 9 games, but the Falcons have covered 4 of their last 5 games in the division at home. They usually aren't very good in close games, however. Let's see if you guys got some comments here on this one. All right. Oh, nothing yet here. Okay. No problem. I'll give out the play because I know I want to go over actually with the Buccaneers and the Falcons today. Maybe based a little bit on that series history, but again, you got Baker uh, coming in here in this one. Tampa, they usually fare pretty well in close games. They have gone under in 8 of 12, but I am, and the Buccaneers defense has been, performing well, no doubt. But uh, indoor game here for me a little bit has a little bit of a factor, and I think we're going to see a little bit more risk taking from Atlanta. This is a huge game, actually, between these two. The Falcons are 6-6, and the Buccaneers are 5-7, and that division is really bad. Looks like a team under, hey, there's no reason why 8-9 isn't going to win the NFC South. It feels like to me 9-8, you're probably going to be a winner if you go 9-8. So Falcons with a win here would have 7 wins, and I don't know. It feels like that'd be the driver's seat here, right? And here's Matt with a prop in this one. You guys are watching soccer there, it looks like. Oh, I didn't see that, Terrell, but thank you. Yeah, and I think what we're seeing a little bit because look, I always it's almost one of the first criteria is indoor or outdoor, and I always think the faster track doesn't always mean here. Yeah, we will doubles. I don't know how much we're gonna have because I got to get out of here. But we do have at least 3 or 4 games here in this one, and Gerardo can get us caught up in our soccer action here. Here's an over for Solo, and I'll take the over as well. Buccaneers 6-5-2 to the over with their team total this year. Or no, 5-6-2. 5 overs on their team total, 6 unders and 2 pushes, I believe. So okay, I'm gonna take the over here in this one. Let's go next with Colts and the Bengals here. We saw the Bengals look good. It's a short week here, obviously, for the Bengals coming off the Monday night win with Jake Browning. Did a pretty good job sitting in for Burrow. Burrow's out for the season. The Bengals are still 6-6. They're live. They have a decent team still. No reason why they still can't get hot. Yeah, you're going to be a little bit of reserved here, the kind of up and down season it's been. It seems like they don't perform as well without Burrow, but everybody got a little hyped up when Browning threw for 354 yards in just his second NFL start. We know, he was pretty prolific, certainly at Washington, one of the better quarterbacks in the nation when he was there. Threw the ball pretty well. So, against the Colts, where they certainly, if you want to pick a defense to go up against, it might be the Colts. But Colts have gone over their team total in 9 of 12 games so far this season. That total does look pretty high. Colts do give up some points. They've also scored 58 points in the last 2 games. And Colts have won and covered 4 of their 5 road games in the United States. I think is the way I need to describe it. I think here Colts have gone also over in 5 of their last 7 games, and this series has gone over in 4 of the last 5, albeit somewhat infrequent. Cincinnati, pretty good covering the spread at home, but maybe everything's out the window with a different quarterback situation. But we'll note Bengals coming off a win 11-3 against the spread in their last 14, although just 2-2 this year. So maybe that's more likely what could happen here. But still, with the Colts coming in, look, Colts have done an incredible job. If anything, Shane Steichen probably will not win the coach of the year, but he certainly could be in the conversation. I mean, usually you're going to be one of those upper echelon teams, but if they could get on a roll here and uh, get up there close anyway and get this playoff spot, that could help him in that department, if that means anything. Colts here getting the points. I don't know. I'm going to go over here in this one, 44. I think it's actually going to be a bit of a problem for the Colts today at Cincinnati, going, being outdoors. Uh, we know the Bengals can still be pretty strong. I would think they need to win, and uh, Terrell says, right. I think that's the thing that kind of helps a guy like Browning, right? Interesting here, you guys. I'm seeing a huge move right now on the Carolina Panthers. Just moments ago, it looks like they're down to 4.5 at circa here. Could there be some news that um, like I said, I we just saw a car was in, and now we're seeing this as a steam play here. It looks like, or at least a big move down to 5.5 at most spots. Circa's moved to 4.5 in this one. Wow. Um, no, we're not talking about that game, but the screen is lit up currently with Carolina action here, and the total well, mostly Carolina action on that one. All right, give me the over here though with the Colts and the Bengals. I've got overs here. What's going on? You know me. You guys know me. You know me better than anybody. All right, Texans here on the road against the Jets, and well, reluctantly, uh, Mr. Wilson, sir, is going to return to quarterback. I don't blame the guy for being a little bit of a drama queen, right? I've already lost the job 5 times, and now you need just because you need me back. Wilson has played just a little bit better each and every time. It seems like, yeah, when the game is on the line, when the chips are all in, and you need the big play, it's probably not his spot. But if you wanted to look at a quarterback, right, we expect too much too fast from quarterbacks that come in. Look at Jordan Love, right? It's all kind of working out as far as like, hey, drafted him, sit him, watch the game, get in there. He struggled a little bit, and then now he's okay, right? So these teams, they just wait. They just have no patience nowadays. This football game is tough, man. And Wilson, he continues to be okay, in my opinion. I mean, not great. I don't want to sit here and be, oh, that Ramon, he likes Wilson. I don't necessarily. And look, you know, they cut Boyle, that Simeon's in there. These guys don't know what they're doing. Just the because the fans, the coach doesn't want. I don't know. Just you got Wilson. You're being your guy got injured. Okay, we get it. Just stick with this guy. Jeez, the Jets have lost their last 5 games. They've scored like 9 points. It's not good. They're going up against one of the hottest teams in the league here. Houston's won 4 of 5. But how much do they win by? They win by 2. They win by 3. They win by 2. They win by 5. They win by 3. The spread's 3. I think the Jets can probably get the money here, actually, in this one. The total at 33. I don't know if I buy that here. Yeah, there is, I believe, some rain expected in the New York area. I don't know if it could be. Maybe I should at least get the best weather report on this with this game, but I don't know if it's a big enough factor here. The underdog covers in Houston games, so I'm probably going to be on the Jets here in this one. I can't even you know argue it too much, other than trying to give you the fact that I do think that Wilson just slightly continues to improve here. Um, but there's not a lot of trends that would indicate this to be the case. And I think there will be some scoring. I think it can get possibly a little bit higher scoring game here than this total might indicate. Okay, I do want to see if I can get the weather here real quick. Yeah, I mean, it looks like rain throughout the game, quite frankly. 100% chance of rain throughout the whole thing, 50 temperature in the low to mid 50s. So, you know, Texans are awesome, man. They've been a fun team. I hope they don't blow it. I hope they make the playoffs. I hope Stroud. I did place a bet this week on C.J. Stroud to be the most valuable player of the NFL this season at 50 to 1. And it would take a pretty strong run here at this point. It would take probably a little bit of a winning streak and more noise from C.J. Stroud, already having a terrific season, one of the best offensive players in the league, certainly. But I think you could still get him at 50 to 1. Yeah, are there other guys out there that are probably ahead of him in this race? And maybe gonna win it. Guys like Lamar, like CJ, uh, or McCaffrey, right? Even Purdy could do it as well. Who else could you have in there? You got to put CJ Stroud up in the mix right now, I would think. Let's see what you guys have in this one. With Matt says he's got the Jets. Blake is on the Jets. And right, they do seem to like come in through at the end there. Fernando says he'll take the Texans here to keep it rolling. I think I've said some good things, right, Fernando, about the team though here. No problem. And look, it's bad. I want the Jets when no one does, and I don't want the Jets when people start to think that the Jets are starting to be just a tiny bit better. Feels like today nobody's going to be too happy with the Jets. They're getting outscored 2-1 in the first half right now. Terrell says they can even win this one. And I don't know. I don't want it to be scrappy. I want it to be a little bit more crisp, actually, here. Reported steam came in, Jets and under. I'm going to take the Jets in this one. And don't tell anybody. All right. Texans here. All right. Yeah, so that's what I use, Don Best. You hear it going, final. So you can get pretty much the same information, on on their website. Quite frankly, it's just delayed. I like to get the information as early as possible. And again, I will mention, for example, today with today. This is here's the thing. So talk about the line services a little bit, or getting the best. You could have Twitter open or whatever. The line service does give you like these little prompts. All it is guys sitting in a room, down the street here at Don Pest, big, sports fans sitting at computers and TVs and monitors and updating their lines and make sure their product is good. And there are other ones out there like Spank Odds. It's kind of like the cheaper version of Don Best. And there's also Sports Insights, which is like it's kind of expensive, but I like that service too. I subscribe to that one too. I spend a few $100s a month, several $100s a month actually, on these to try to bring you the best information. So if you could subscribe to my picks, I'd appreciate it. It's not like I said, is it about the picks? Sure. Do we want to win them all? But I'm also giving you some information. Come and join you each week, and you're supporting me. So just consider that, you guys, as part of the team. All right. And but one thing was, and so in the game between Jacksonville and Cleveland, I knew what I was going on here, and the show was getting ready to go, and the news broke a little bit about what was going on in that game. And I was going to come on, do the show, give my pick, give my pick out or whatever. But by the time I got on the show, the line had moved, but I got the bet in time. So here, where the line was Cleveland now 1.5 and 36. I just a half an hour or 15 minutes before I went on the air, and you already know I like Jackson. I like Jacksonville, and the total. I was able to get a really good number. Let's just put it that way. The number was 33 this morning. The news started to come out. The thing prompted me. I went over immediately. That total is now 36. So I've already beaten the line there by 3 points this morning in the NFL. That's like, there's nothing I can do. The game's going to be played. And I also got those 3 points with Jacksonville, and now it's 1.5. So that's a little bit of an advantage that you have. But again, not that you guys are going to sit here, like I am, with no life and no wife and no girlfriend, no kids, just sitting here, married to the game, as I like to say. Haven't heard from. I don't know if Uncle Charlie's interested in me, Blake. um, I'm not Uncle Charlie. All right, here we go. We are on that game. Got it out there with the Jets. Okay, that's it for the early games, right? We're ready to move to the afternoon card here now. With did I get them all? Make sure we got them all. The Seahawks and 49ers in this one. The 49ers, a double-digit favorite here. Wow, against the Seahawks in this one. Gino, he's definitely out of this game uh, for today. I don't even think we know. Drew Lock is going to be in there. I don't. I think Gino hasn't actually been ruled out, but it doesn't look promising. So I think we can probably expect Drew Lock in there. Gino's listed as questionable with a groin injury, but remember he tried to come back in, had to go back out. Kenneth Walker is probable, Charbonnet probable, so good news there for the Seahawks. And now the 49ers injury report looks quite clear coming into this one. And man, could they get a blowout victory here today? 13.5. It looks like, you might think that Seattle's going to get some attention here, but the bookmakers aren't scared. They're, is it the old something you never hear me say on this show, right? They're begging you to take. Are they? I don't know. I don't know who. I don't get any calls from any bookmaker. Hey, could you please take this? So I don't know. Only when I hear people say it, they're begging me to take it. Do I hear? Oh, they are. I didn't know. Thanks for telling me. I didn't know they were begging me to take this team. Are they begging me to take Seattle here? I don't know. The reported steam came on Seattle, so the Sharps certainly are liking this game. Coming into today, but look, either way, I probably ended up. Oh, what is wrong with my graphic there? That looks terrible, you guys. Either way, I'm likely I'm gonna take the over. I think in this game, even with Drew Lock in there, I think the Niners are gonna feel really comfortable here. Maybe they won't cover because they'll have a big lead, and the Seahawks can trade with them a little bit. But I think this one ends up going over the total. Look, it's already 46.5. I don't want to lay it as a premium. It was as low as I believe 43.5 at one point. Bet Online opened at 43.5, and now it's all the way up here to 46. I don't think there's much value left for me to get involved and play it here. And I understand the Seahawks are going to be in a situation with their quarterback here. And, nobody likes Drew Lock. I get that. But I think it's more about the Niners' comfortability here in this game. Yeah, division game. I get that. But this one has gone. I see. I didn't have the comma right. All right, there we go. 7 of the last 10 meetings between these two teams have gone over. Seattle's done well. 7 of the last 10. They've covered 7 of the last 10 trips here into San Francisco. It was won 4 straight in the series. They met just 2 weeks ago. Remember, in Seattle, 31-13. The 49ers crunched them. So maybe people remember that. Maybe that's why the spread is what it is. They led 24-3 at halftime, remember, and they had outgained them in the first half. They had 377 yards early, I think, in that one. Let me see here. Oh man, okay. Looks like another move coming in here a little bit on the total right now. This one is dropping rapidly. That's why I paused. I'm going to get the best of this one. The number. Maybe we're getting the information here about Lock in this one and Gino, because I'm showing the total dip to 45 at Circa. I'll leave it at 46 because I actually want the over in this game. But I'm showing 45 now at Circa, 45.5 at Bet Online, down at 46 here. Remember, it opened lower, so maybe it is going to come back to the pack a little bit. 7 of every 10 tickets, I believe, are on the over on this one by a couple of accounts. Here is Fernando. Yeah, well, but Salty, I do say trap sometimes on here. Remember, I always say it's a tarp. That's my joke about it because I don't believe in any of some of the terms that get used. Try to get away from the cliche gambling terms. Um, Matt says this is a problem. Terrell says they'll just grind it, actually. Darren says take the points. Fernando going over with me. Good. Okay, we go over then. All right, give me the over here in this one. All right, next up, it's the home team, the Raiders here at home against the Vikings. Oh, I love this game. You know what? This was my first real Super Bowl in my life. I think I was cognizant in my youth a little bit about football growing up. I mean, I had a Joe Namath jersey. I'm so old, but um, really when I started to figure things out in life, you get to be about 6, 7 years old and you start to remember things. This was like the first game that I watched from start to finish, the Super Bowl between the Vikings and the Raiders. I believe it was 1977. And the Raiders with John Madden and the Vikings had Tarkenton. Raiders had Stabler. So the Vikings come in 6-6, and the Raiders are 5-7. The Vikings have lost their last two games by the slimmest of margins. Talked about that steam now officially coming in. Seahawks and the 49ers right now. Steam move coming in. I know we're talking about some other games also. I also see a big move here on the Lions and the Bears. The total is moving there. I'm showing 44, 43.5 right now there. All right, continuing on here, the Raiders have won 2 of their 4 games since they fired the coach and started having Antonio Pierce as the coach, 3-1 against the spread. And here they're getting the points at home. I gotta like that. I really gotta like that. I got the Raiders in this one. I probably want to take them on the money line. I'm going to give them out here, of course, plus the points. We'll make sure. And yeah, I think we get mostly 3, but maybe if it's even 2.5 here, I'm okay with it. I've maybe the Raiders to continue this momentum a little bit with uh, Aiden O'Connell at quarterback. I think he's looking pretty good, actually, and we'll see moving forward. Uh, Home Raiders at home, pretty good. They do pretty well at home so far this season. They've covered 4 of their last 5, won 4 of their last 5 at home. So they don't do that well off of a bye, but with Pierce, I don't know if we want to look too much into that. They are just 1-5 in their last 6 off of the bye. The Raiders here have gone under in 9 of 12 games this season. That might happen here, it feels like, in this one at 40.5. I've got the Raiders to come in and do a nice job here. They usually don't do very well against NFC teams. Raiders don't have a good spread coming in off of a loss, so really can't sell you on too much of that. But I will tell you this: the Raiders have gone under their team total in 11 of 12 games this year and held their opponents to under their team total in 8 of 12 games so far this season. The Vikings have held their opponents to under their team total in 8 of 12 games. So I am going to take the Raiders here, though, to win this game. I'll add the points to make sure, but give me the Raiders in this one. Vikings are off a bye too, and they're just 4-10 in their last 14 games against the spread off of a bye. And don't forget, uh, Josh Dobbs' story is nice. Yeah, he's still 2-11 as a starting quarterback. Give me the Raiders in this one. All right, here's a game the Chargers can probably choke, I would think, against the Broncos for sure. I mean, who wouldn't like the Broncos in this one coming in? Look, once you start bagging on the Chargers offense a little bit, maybe they'll start to get it going. But the one thing that's been the problem, I would think, for the Chargers is the lack of weapons. Sure, these guys look okay, but Johnston looks like a a flop here, really. It looks like a bust. He's had some nice plays, but he doesn't look very rugged out there as a receiver. Doesn't seem to be able to, what do they call it? High point the ball. He seems like a guy who should be the high point type of receiver, but he just doesn't secure the ball once he's contacted. That's the way I see him at this point. Now, I think that can be, worked on. You can work on that in drills. I've seen coaching take place. I mean, I know how to, you do that. You take those, um, pads and you throw ball and you start to jostle and you try to work on things like that. But that's a long project here. You do have a great quarterback, certainly. You got two great quarterbacks. Give Russell Wilson some credit for his career and for the season he's having, right? If anything, maybe Wilson is a product of his environment with Seattle. You can say, well, he was under Carroll and that's why he was so good after all. We see it, right? Maybe it just takes a while to get settled in. Maybe he is look, his career's over, right? I mean, for the most part, sure, the Broncos could get on a roll, and Russell Wilson's going to play another uh, season or two, or who knows how long, but um, he'll be okay here. I would think this one's going to be a high scoring game. I've got the Chargers are going totally under. We know that because their offense is totally underachieved this season. They've gone under in 8 of their last 10 games. And, this series has been a total under when the Chargers are at home. Now they've played in like different places here over the years. This is a long sample size going back a decade, but total is 9-1 in the last 10 games when the Chargers are at home. So the home team has dominated this series, winning the last 6 meetings, and the visitor has not covered the spread in any of those. But I'm not going to trust the Chargers here to win this game. I think this feels like the types of games that they lose. They suck in close games. They're not clutch at all. You can't spell choke without Chargers, so I'll probably take the Broncos here in this one to win against the Chargers. Give me the Broncos plus 2.5. You might even get 3 out there right now. You could buy it up to 3 or 3.5. It's going to be a close game for sure. The Chargers can't blow anybody out, and the Broncos, quite frankly, are playing. I would think some of their best football of the season, even though on the road they haven't been too great. 1-4 against the spread, I believe, on the road uh, this season, right? So, yeah, maybe they've enjoyed the home cooking a little bit, but the Chargers are not clutch. Give me the Broncos today. What do you guys have? Here's Thomas with Denver, doubles with Denver. And if we're squared, Matt, then maybe I should be on the Chargers. I don't want to be square here. And here's Fernando on the under, and he's on the Chargers. And Salty says because he sees it when I'm on the other show and the Chargers. I was on the one of those shows, remember, and the Chargers played and they lost. And I was like, I got on there and I sang the Superchargers song when we scored a touchdown, acting a fool like I usually do. And they lost the game. And I didn't even get to finish the rest of the song because Natron means, man, I tell you what, think of the Chargers. I love Natron means and all the great Charger running backs from LT, Chuck Muncie, Lionel Little Train James, Hank Bauer. How about some other Charger running backs? Thank you for that. Thank you for saying that, Terrell. Remember my memories a little bit. I'm not getting any younger. Let's remember the good old days. Let's talk about the big game of the afternoon when the Bills take on the Chiefs here in this one. The Bills have just gone 3-5 straight up in their last 8 games and won 6-1 against the spread. That doesn't feel too comfortable right now, does it? If you're the Buffalo Bills, they're due. They're due. The Chiefs have lost 3 of 5 after that 6-1 start. They've been outscored the second half of their last 5 games by a 54-30 margin, and they're not throwing the ball very far down the field. They're starting to look a little bit more, you know, pedestrian. What's wrong with this quarterback? What's his name again? Man, I don't even know who this guy is anymore. So maybe he can get it together today here against Buffalo. But Buffalo coming off a bye, 7 years in a row they've won their game off a bye, 4-2-1 against the spread. Buffalo's gone under in 6 of their last 7 games. The Chiefs are 5-2-1 to the under in their last 8 games. We're still dealing with a massive total here because of the, we got Allen and Mahomes. This is what we're expecting here, right? A high scoring game. The steam came in on the over, but these two teams are totally going under. It feels like to me, time here, time and time again. Now, I think the Bills find a way here, find a way to turn around. They need this win so bad, and the Chiefs are the what I was trying to think of, I was like thinking of something I could, because the C in Kansas City stands for complacency. It feels like to me every time they get in position like this, they just give some back. They're 8-4, and it feels like the Chiefs aren't moving forward, right? I mean, we're like, well, we're not saying what's wrong with the Chiefs, but every time we're out there, it seems like, and maybe it's just because of these, 3 losses that they've had here of late and making me think about it, but they're not great as a home favorite. And if anything, look at this spread because of the move, right? It opened 3 for the most part and is down to 1.5. Is that sharp action? Is that, uh, you know, are there really people just jumping on Buffalo here? Yeah, I think they are. And I'm going to be on Buffalo. Pacheco's out today for Kansas City. They've got other injuries on defense, including Tranquil. Tranquil, we saw him leave the game. Cook is out as well. Uh, so McKinnon's probable for the Chiefs today, and for the Bills, Dawson Knox is questionable. Um, Von Miller, he's probable. All right, I guess just let him play. And all right. Anyways, give me the Bills. Give me the Bills to get this one. They've won the last 2 meetings here at Arrowhead, 24-20, 38-20. Those are somewhat recent visits here to in this series. So Bills are also 9-4 against the spread their last 13 trips into Kansas City. That's a pretty big sample size. But right? Yeah, needs some weapons here. What happened? You think about think about some of the guys they've had in here, and you got to be a little bit bummed, right? If you're Mahomes to a certain extent. So I don't know about Salty. Remember, Kansas City is coming in here with a pretty strong record still right now. This is the NFL. Not a lot of teams have 8 wins right now, my friend. But maybe you're saying because we maybe just expect just a tiny bit more from Kansas City, but it's tough. And well, for all the great things that Andy Reid has done, right? He's still again complacency. It feels like for me, the Bills. This is a desperate, desperate situation. This is an important, important game for the Buffalo Bills. They can recover if they don't win this game, but that's already going to be 7 losses if they lose here today. Remember, it's a 17-game season. You got to figure they could lose another one here down the line. Thomas on the Bills, doubles on KC. We're going to see a lot of, I don't know, you're getting a good price here, it feels like, with Kansas City. All right, let's get to the night game here now. We got to keep this show moving with the Eagles and the Cowboys. And what a great game this one's going to be right here tonight with the Eagles 10-2, the Cowboys 9-3. The Eagles have been terrific, 6-3-3 against the spread. Although, what's going on in the Eagles in the first half? They're looking slow starts or giving up points left and right of late here. But man, just feels like every time, look, with the Eagles and Cowboys right now, The Dallas lost in week 9, remember? It was 28-23. So they didn't cover the spread. This has been just it hasn't worked out for Philadelphia when they've come into Dallas. Total's gone over in 5 straight. This is the Sunday night dealio here, you guys, where every game goes under, and this is a high scoring game. Now, the last 5 meetings have gone over the total, and maybe that's where you're expecting explosiveness here, but I don't know if I see it that way necessarily here tonight. Last 6 Dallas games have gone over. Philly's gone over in 4 of the last 5. Maybe we're expecting all sorts of explosiveness here, but I don't think I don't know if it can get to 50 for me. I feel like I'm contrarian here, though, in this one. You guys starting to come in here with your – no, not yet. You're getting it ready. Maybe you want the key stat here in this one. Oh, that's a great point, Terrell, on the Chiefs there. All right, Cowboys 15-6 against the spread in their last 21 games as a home favorite. Combine that with the Eagles' struggles here against Dallas and the fact that, Dallas is just a game back in the standings here. Oh man, this one's a little bit tough for me because everything from the sharp point of view wants to indicate for me that to take Philadelphia. I'm not gonna. I'm gonna end up laying the points with Dallas here, just because for whatever reason, Philly seems to have a mental block when they come in here, and Dallas at home continues to do well. You got to lay that hook too. Bookies are making you lay this hook for the most part, so they must have some confidence on Dallas because I would think that to me the gut feel is right. 2 great teams, you're getting the hook. You're going to want to take the Eagles, but I'm on Dallas here. I'm going to lay these points. I'm going to do it as a free play on the show because I've got to lay a hook here. So like and smash. Thank you, Matt. Double says go over. I mean, everything points to an over in this game, and I don't think I'm gonna get there at this point. Wish it was back. Look, the total was I've seen it as low as 48.5. Now this line's been out a while. This line's been out before last week's games. So I've seen a total as low as 48.5 early. I saw it go up to as high as 53.5. And now we're dealing with a 51.5 here. All right. So I'm probably gonna, expect a little bit of defense in this game. Even though these teams always go over. Give me the Eagles, though. That's football. Enjoy the games today. We got to get going here. I've got to get out of here in like less than 20 or 25 minutes because I got an early appearance over with another commentator. Let's talk about hockey real quick, get these plays out, and send you on your way here. I thought the hockey was decent last night. Decent, but my premiums flopped. That was the problem. Yesterday for me was all my premium. They were all here's the typical the bad beat guy, right? And all my premiums were winning at one point, and they all lost. So let's roll today. Hey, no one to blame but yourself. Florida and Columbus here. These are just going to be picks. We've got to go fast today in this one. Look, the money came in early on the Panthers here, but since they've come back on one of our favorite teams to kind of back here with the Blue Jackets, man, we've been kind of rolling with this Blue Jackets puck line here, and they're probably getting a pretty decent enough price here on the puck line to want to consider them here today. And I'll probably give out a double play in this one since this one starts right when the early NFL games do. I'm not going to go premium here, and I do like the game. So I'm going to take Columbus. They're 17-8 as a puck line dog so far this season, and Florida is 7-10 as a puck line favorite. And we're getting a price here of minus $1.20 or so on the puck line. So give me the Blue Jackets, and I'm also going to look to go over in this one. The Blue Jackets are 15-10 to the over as an underdog so far this season. So going to have to go with the 6.5 here, I do believe. So just a free play here, and it's really, man, oh my gosh, it's juiced to like over 35 at some spots right now. Uh, look, all right, I'll give it out. I'll give it out still, but I'll better put a better price on this one. I think I'd see as high as 6.5 over 35. Maybe just take the Blue Jackets if you're throwing down some action. I still going to go with the over. It feels like it needs 7 goals here. Panthers probably win this one 4-3 today. Maybe they get 5-3. They're playing so well. Here's New Jersey on the road today against Edmonton. Hey, we won with New Jersey last night on the road. Now they here obviously on the back-to-back, and it's a day game, so that has to be considered as well. They were at Calgary yesterday, but look, it's just a short drive here, flight, whatever. I don't even know what they do. So I'm sure they fly it, but nonetheless, they're plenty of time to get in a little bit of rest here before this one, even though it is a back-to-back. Key here is I'm probably going to be on the Devils in this one against the Oilers here, at least at the plus price. Oilers have been terrific, man. The Oilers are hot. They're looking good for sure here, but the Sharps seem to be coming in here a little bit on the Devils of late. And I'm going to end up here on the Devils as well. I think it probably the total here. Let me see that there's probably plenty of 6.5s out there, but I'm showing mostly 7s as the main line across the board. And if that's the case, look, I know they're hitting it pretty hard. The Sharps are pretty much all over the over in this one, but I'm going to end up taking the under. So I'm going to take New Jersey and the under a little bit. I'm not saying I'm looking for attention here. Taking a little bit of the price here with a New Jersey team that obviously is pretty okay right now, especially on the road. They've been pretty terrific so far. One of the best road teams in the National Hockey League. I know all this back to back. I know it all, what's going on. But New Jersey 9-4 here on the road so far this season. And I'm going to take them here against the Devils in a low. Give me the under. New Jersey and under. Yeah. Good luck. Thank you, Devils. See if you're out of here. Thank you, Terrell. Good luck to you guys. And hey, NFL is not easy, but cool, Salty. That's cool. And again, I'm trying to sell my picks here a little bit too. That you'll get the package. You take a look at the leaderboard. On Tony'sPicks.com, the Handicapper leaderboard, NFL, my premium pick plays. So far on the calendar year, which does include the games back to January 1st, I think it's broken down by year. But if you look at that Handicapper leaderboard 2.0, you'll find that I'm 36 games over 500 with my NFL premium picks this season, good for 19 or 30. Well, 17 over 17 units. We did take a loss last week, so over 17 units in the NFL in this calendar year. So, yeah, it's tough. I do have a winning record with my premium picks here on the site. So, okay. Thanks, Devils. Oh, no problem. It is tough. It is tough. And that's why, hey, I'm on some goofball sides once in a while, but hey, this is the NFL after all. And if anything, as great as the NFL is, and I always talk about it being the most predictable, but the toughest to get right? Like we know where it's going to land. It's just, is it going to land on one side or the other? So, but if anything is, to me, the most technical handicap is the NFL, more so than any other sport, right? All the old trends, traditions, spread streaks, things like that. The NFL, to me, is the most, those come into play in the NFL more than any other sport, in my opinion. All right, the Kings are on the road. Doesn't matter. I'm on the Kings. We don't even need a handicap here. I'm not. Kings played last night. We took them. They won against the Islanders. They're on a back-to-back. They got to go play one of the best teams in the league right now. I don't care. The Kings are on a – where's my graphic? Copley is expected to be in the. I don't care. I'm taking the Kings until further notice in this one right now. I'm not. I'm not saying that. I might go against them next game. I'm just if I'm picking them right now, I'm using it as kind of a shtick. I'm taking the Kings, so my Kings, to continue on a roll here against the Rangers. The Rangers are awesome, and they're hey, don't ignore the fact that what it says right there beneath my chin. Quick. The Kings are taking on Jonathan Quick here today. Their legendary goalie, their Stanley Cup winning goaltender here. I don't know if it's all good with Quick, right? I mean, he was a legend and the fans love him in LA here. And yeah, maybe the Kings are on the backup today here with Phoenix Copley. Remember, it was Phoenix Copley that got on that incredible roll late last season. Maybe we were just starting to scratch the surface of what the Kings saw. They got Talbot. Talbot gets in there. He's the number one goaltender, and Copley really. Talbot's been a workhorse type of goaltender, right? Taking a lot of the games, but. If it is Copley here, I'm going to take the Kings. I can't stop taking the Kings at this point. Yep. Yeah, don't forget we talked about you talk about the Kings on a back to back, but the Rangers, of course, and we went with them here. And they just struggled. They struggled offensively, right? So, not Kings right now. Again, don't forget it. Don't forget the record-setting road winning streak, the all-time record too. Maybe just should mention that 12 straight road wins. All right, Predators and my Canadians. Am I not getting my Canadians right here all of a sudden? A team that I usually am very, very focused on and never miss with. Well, it seems like we've missed with them here a little bit of late. So, all right, in this one, you got the Predators though on the road, $1.65. They've taken plenty of sharp action here, and I'm going to try the Predators again here at $1.65 on the road against my Canadians. Yeah, maybe I've gotten Montreal a little bit wrong here, and I do see the Sharps coming in here on Nashville for the most part. There has been some buyback on the Canadians, but it doesn't look as good as the Predator money here at this point. Predators laying a pretty big price here, $1.65 on the road. Montreal, look, they're a 500 team. Pretty impressed still by what they've done. Predators were on a roll until that last one, right? If I'm not mistaken, and we're playing much better of late. And if I can get my sheet here, let me take a look at what I typed in here on my device last night. All right. Yeah. So it was a 4-0 loss to Toronto last night for the for the Preds, right? We were on them last night, and Toronto did a real nice job defensively on Nashville. So, look, some of these teams are on back-to-backs here today for sure. The Blackhawks are also on a back-to-back, obviously. They won yesterday against St. Louis. Did a nice job too in that game defensively. So give me Washington here in this one. I mean, Nashville. I mean, Nashville. Don't want to give my pick away for the next game. Here we go. I guess because it was kind of pertaining to it, right? Because the Blackhawks played last night. Okay. Oh, okay. I get it. Because Rangers played the Capitals. Let me get my sheet from last night's games. So that would help. Oh yeah, Rangers. We gave out the Rangers. They lost, and the Blackhawks They played the Rangers played the Capitals, and the Blackhawks played the Blues. Okay, I get it now. I'm square. Don't think I've totally lost it. Don't call the authorities just yet. Washington at Chicago here in this one. It's the Capitals, another road favorite here coming in against the Blackhawks with Kemper and Soderblom. expected in this one, and I am taking Washington. I didn't mean to give it away there. I'm taking Washington on the road against Chicago. I'm the guy that is saying, I don't care. I watch all the analysts. They're all telling me that Washington is bad. Okay, I get it. I don't understand the game. I just watch the guys skating around on their little skaties and with their sticks and the little puck, and I look at the numbers. I look at the stats. I look at how a team is doing. Washington to me is doing pretty darn good. And here against Chicago, I would think they're in a pretty good position to win this game. I'm going to lay the number here on the road with the Capitals against the Blackhawks. Tonight, Blackhawks off a win, obviously. Did a nice job against St. Louis yesterday. Not sure on the total. Let me see. Is it 6? If it's six, all right. I'll just give out the Caps. Maybe I like the total a little bit too much. Maybe I better just be quiet a little bit. Again, not a lot of trends here. We got to get this show wrapped up. Just giving out my picks here today with the Jets and the Ducks. Jets on the road here. Big favorite at Anaheim. I get it. The Jets are looking pretty strong here. Give credit to these guys right now. Some of these, Nashville, the Jets. Every team has been seemingly having their turn on a little bit of a hot streak here. And the Jets are one of them. They're coming in to take on an Anaheim team that they've done pretty well at home, and it feels like it's too high of a price to me, even with the Jets at -10. I mean, wow, look at that, -10 goals. What are they really, you guys? 195, 190. Yeah, let's call it $2. I think we can call it $2 here. I'll call it 190 because I think I'm going to take Anaheim and the total at 6 over. Yes, for sure in this one. So, all right. Yep. For me, I think it'll be that might go under that 6 here. Actually, I'm going to take the Ducks. They're getting a little bit of got to lay a little bit of a price here to take that puck line at home today at -155. Ooh. Oh well, too late. I already called it. Give me the Ducks plus a goal and a half at -155 in this one. I would think this one has a chance to stay. I'm not sure on the total. I don't know. Might not make the premium card going up against that Philly game. And let's just take the Ducks here, even with that ugly price. Hey, you got to take it one way or the other. And here's the Wild taking on the Kraken in this one. And it looks like Joey Decord in there for the Kraken today. Gustafson in for Minnesota here on the road. I'm going to take Minnesota in this one right now against the Kraken at $1.35 or so. I would think that maybe if it's 6 over 20, I would tend to. I don't want to be Mr. Lean guy. So if I'm not presenting any totals, I don't want to present any if I'm not going to present any pick, I don't want to present any trend. I definitely like Minnesota here to win in this one. For the Kraken, they are just 4-8 on the road. Or for the Wild, they are just 4-8 on the road so far. But the Kraken 4-7 at home and 5-13 as an underdog. One thing where the Wild has excelled is as a favorite. Now maybe they were at home more frequently, but they are 5-3 as a favorite straight up this year. They're trying to get turned around a little bit. These teams have similar records right now. The Wild have 9 wins and the Kraken have 8 wins, but give me the Wild here in this one. I would expect maybe this one gets over 6 goals. Take Minnesota on the road against Seattle today. All right, one more in hockey here with San Jose going up against Vegas. And we had Vegas yesterday, right? We had Vegas on the road. We gave that one out. Yeah, maybe it was, I don't know, they were an underdog, so no big deal. But here you got a big, big price. And you know what? I think this is the day for the Sharks. I'll probably have to take a goal and a half, maybe even 2.5 goals. But you know what? I might even be sprinkling a little money line here. I've got the Knights overlooking this one completely. I think it will be a low score game. If the Knights win, it's going to be 2-1, 3-1 here. It could be 1-1 for a while. Maybe it could get to 2-2. Maybe the Sharks can get a goal. Nonetheless, when I say the spots and I'm picking this, I've got this one as a big chance for the Sharks to show up here, uh, play one of their best games of the season, maybe pull off an upset against the Golden Knights. I mean, look, you can't sit there. If like this is one of the when you talk about these games, right? It's easy for talking head handicapper guy to just blow it off every time and say, of course, the uh, Knights are a strong, strong team. The Sharks are one of the worst teams in the league. What are you going to do? You're always going to take the Golden Knights every time? Well, that's probably not going to make you any money. It doesn't feel like to me, especially if you're at 350. No, it might be too high. 325, 310 at Circa, 315 at Bet Online, 330 at Bovada. If I'm going to give it out, it is 350 over here on my stations app. But I got to at least put it down to a realistic number at some of the other books. But nonetheless, so when I say I think a team will perform above their norm, hey, maybe they lose this game 4-2. You look at the line, uh, you know, what is 2.5? 2.5 is probably like $1.50 or so. This is where I do want to look at it. I don't want to give out 2.5, as a play. Oh, 2.5 might be $2 here, actually. Let me see. San Jose plus 2.5 is $1.80. So plus two though is $1.35, and that seems extremely reasonable. So when I'm saying I'm on a team like this, it's tough. You don't want to be that guy, and you could easily go out there and just say, "Oh, I'm taking the Sharks! Woohoo! Look at me!" And if they win, hey, look, I took the Sharks. And but I just want to let you guys know that sometimes I'm going to be on the big dog. This is a spot here for me where I'm going to take the big dog in a Sunday night game against Golden Knights. I'm going to take San Jose in this one. Money line +1, +1.5, +2, maybe +2.5. I'll just sprinkle it all over, and I'll be rolling with the Sharks, hanging there as long as I can tonight against the Golden Knights. Thank you for listening to the hockey plays. We've got basketball, and I think they're just going to be plays here because I got to go. They're expecting me at that other show here in just a few minutes. I've selected a few games here today, including the first game because it's the first game after all. And we have to talk about North Texas. They're the, one of the slowest teams around, right? Their totals are super low. This is probably pretty high for a North Texas game at 127. How are they ever going to score 127 points in this one? I've got Fordham and the under here. This one's being played in Brooklyn here, but maybe Fordham can hang in there with North Texas today. But I'll tell you what, I'd be lucky if there's 115 points scored in this game, it feels like, and I'll take the under. If anything, that's a premium today. I'm not going to put it in a package. This game starts in 45 minutes. But I'll be telling you what, North Texas, this game, it's going to be like 58-52, isn't it? Okay, that's my prediction right there. 58-50. Oh, maybe we'll give them a little bit of 58-53. How's that? North Texas wins. Exact score line. What can we get on that? 58-53. I know, you know what there is. Those little windows they offer actually, but I could probably get 100-1, couldn't I? All right. So just some picks here, I think, today in this one. Look, Fordham, they're kind of the designated home team. This game's being played in Brooklyn. There's a little bit of an event going on. There'll be 4 games in Brooklyn today, and we'll talk about them. Here's the next game in Brooklyn today with Colorado going up against the Hurricanes. I thought there was all New York teams in there, but apparently not. These two they put in there. Hey, I got the over here for sure in Colorado and Miami today at 154. It's gone up, hasn't it? Now, this one's going to be a 160-point game, I would think. Oh yeah. 155 and a half. It was as high as 157 on an opener at Bet Online, and I would think it could go over that too. I'll put it at 156 to help you out here a little bit. And if anything, Miami has moved to a 1.5 point favorite. I do like Miami in this game actually, and I'm going to lay it. I'm going to give you a double play here on this special event today with Miami. Miami took the widely reported steam already, and that's why they've moved to the favorite here against Colorado, and that's what I'm on. But mostly, I think I'm on the over in this one at 156 and a half. And I like Miami here. All right. I hope you don't mind me rushing through these today. Just got a couple more here. Memphis and Texas A&M in this one, and seven and a half. Let me see, 7.5, 150. Is that right? 7.5, 149 and a half. The move here looks like it's to the under a little bit. I like it over actually in this one. I know what you might be expecting here, Texas A&M at home, but look, there's a lot of the Sharps prefer the under, and they haven't been too bad in this spot. But at this number, I've got this one in the mid 150s here. So give me the over with Memphis. Yeah, that. I even went to bed. I had to go to bed after a long day. I woke up to the news of the loss for me. We did have Washington last night. All right, couple more, and I got to go. Michigan and Iowa. Thank you, everybody, for being here today. And catch you tomorrow with more Morning Steam 9 Eastern and 6 Pacific. So, Michigan and Iowa, look at this total at 159, 160. Yeah, sign me up for this one. I've got to think this is a pretty big over today. These two teams should. Michigan's not playing very well at all. They've shown some big time vulnerability defensively, and I think going in here to Iowa's going to put up a number here in this one. I don't know if they're going to be able to cover here necessarily here, but I think Iowa should win and get very close at 4 and 159 and a half. It was 163, so a lot of pressure to the under here, but I've got the over in this one with Michigan and Iowa. Man, fading these sharps here. All right. Michigan State and Nebraska. One more from the Big Ten here as we get out of here. This one's at 6:30 Eastern and 3:30 Pacific. And for me in this one, I can only look one way. I think it's going to be to the total. The total here, 140. Oh, no, it can't be 140 and a half. I'm sure this has gone up. Woo! 144 now at Bovada. All right. Well, no wonder it's going to be a free play. I like this one to go over with Michigan State and Nebraska today. Michigan State is right now up to 3.5 point favorite. Ooh. Well, I don't know about that. I think it does kind of roll, though, with what I'm thinking here with the total going over with Michigan State. The Sharps are clearly on Michigan State here, but I'm not ready to get with them here, laying it on the road necessarily. I might actually be on Nebraska by the time this is over. Probably just in pocket, but my play here on the show is going to be the over Michigan State and Nebraska. Thank you guys so much. I know I'm making it kind of quick here today with just some plays, but catch me over in a few minutes on another show here on YouTube. Hey, check me out tomorrow here, 9 a.m. Eastern, 6 Pacific, with more Morning Steam. Don't forget, we'll be here with Monday Night Football. We'll have more action from the NBA, NHL, and college basketball. Thank you so much for your support. And please pick up my package here of NFL plays. I just told you, look, I'll just show you real quick, maybe here. So there's my 5-pack early window, and I'll have another package for the late games. I think I'm going to mix up the sports in the late games here. But so you see there, the 5-pack is just $25. Look at it as if you're supporting me. It's $5 a play, but I'm here every day, and hopefully you guys enjoy the show and the picks. And here, look, take a look. NFL since the 2023 here, and there's my record: 112 wins, 86 losses. So that's 26 games over 500, so I missed that. But the 17 and a half units of profit in the calendar year does seem like a lot of games, right? But it's not really. I usually have 7, 8, 9, 10 NFL games. I believe, hey, I'm never passing on the NFL, man. We only get, 15, 16 chances a week to play these games, and I'm going to be involved in a lot of them because the NFL is great. All right, you guys, thanks a lot. Appreciate you tuning in here to the Tony's Picks YouTube channel, 40,000 subscriber juggernaut. For Tony'sPicks.com, I'm Ramon Scott.